What's up? It's your boy Kevin to turn on this motherfucking YouTube shit. Wow, what the fuck?
Shout out to Star News. So yeah, and Burrell died, or took herself out. Hey, we live in a crazy world, bro. Like I said, man, money on the fame, bitch. That shit overrated. When you ain't got like no connection like to God, Yahweh, or just life in general. You know what I'm saying?
Her stepson just broke the silence. The pills were no accident. Anne Burrell's husband's son, Javier, has revealed the horrifying truth behind her death.
Or maybe
Multiple
it's just her time
medications
to go.
found nearby suggest this wasn't just a sudden cardiac arrest. Was it a tragic mistake or a cry for help no one recognized? Stay tuned, because what comes next will shock you. When the world first learned about the sudden death of celebrity chef Anne Burrell, shockwaves rippled across the internet. Known for her bold personality, electric red hair, and commanding presence on shows like Worst Cooks in America, Anne was a household name. So when reports confirmed that she had been found lifeless in her Brooklyn home, many were stunned. But the real shock was just beginning. At first glance, the cause of death was reported as cardiac arrest. But then came the whispers. And eventually, the chilling confirmation from someone inside the family, her stepson. In a heartbreaking reveal, Anne's stepson, Javier Claxton, admitted that the scene he walked into that morning raised far more questions than answers. A heartbreaking combination of prescription pill bottles far more questions than answers. A heartbreaking combination of prescription pill bottles and unanswered phone calls was all that remained. Now, days later, those closest to her are stepping forward with alarming details that could change everything we thought we knew about her final moments. So what really happened?
Drug overdose.
Was it an accidental overdose? A cry for help
I ain't
that no
gonna
one
cap.
noticed?
Drug overdose
Or something even darker?
Be real though.
You won't believe what her family found, what the police didn't say
You know
in the
what I'm
first
saying? Like,
reports, and how her final days were
accidental
filled with troubling
overdoses?
signs
Be real.
no one connected until it was too
But
late.
I
It
think
was
she
just
did this
after
to
8
herself on
a.m. on
purpose.
Tuesday,
You know
June
what I'm saying?
17th, when emergency responders received a chilling 911 call from Anne Burrell's Brooklyn residence. The voice on the line? Her husband, Stuart Claxton. The call was brief but panicked. Anne was unresponsive, not breathing, and cold to the touch. By the time first responders arrived, Anne Burrell was already gone. She was declared dead on arrival. But what haunted paramedics and investigators wasn't just the tragedy of her sudden death. It was what surrounded her body. On the floor near Anne's side were multiple prescription pill bottles, some toppled over, some still half full. According to inside sources from the NYPD, the sheer number of pills didn't make sense and raised red
They're
flags
popping them
immediately. The question on everyone's mind, was this an accident or something
I
deliberate?
wonder what kind she was on.
Family sources say Stuart had
Xan?
gone to bed earlier than Anne that
You
night.
get Xan for like
She reportedly
prescriptions.
stayed up late, something she often did when she had anxiety or couldn't sleep.
I think
But
any
that
type
night,
of pills you take,
something was
a
different.
bunch of you can
Her
overdose.
stepson, Javier, who
All right,
often
gang,
stayed
hold it
with them
down.
on weekends, later shared in a private statement. She
I
wasn't
think any
acting
pill you
like
can
herself
overdose
lately.
from though.
Quiet,
Like,
distracted. She didn't even talk about the
if
new
you
cookbook.
take a
That was
bunch
her
of
baby.
anything, you can overdose.
That kind of withdrawal, coupled with the discovery of multiple prescriptions, some for
I feel like
anxiety, others for sleep, set off
it
alarms
gotta
for
be
those
deeper,
closest to
bruh.
her. And
If
then
it
there
was
was
just
the
a health
most
she
gut-wrenching
overdosed
detail
on
of all.
and took herself out,
Stuart
it gotta be
reportedly found
deeper.
a small handwritten note on the kitchen table. It
You
wasn't
know what I'm
addressed to
saying?
anyone specifically, and it didn't outright say goodbye. But it did contain lines like, "I'm tired, and I don't want to be a burden." Police have not confirmed the existence of this note
That's why I
publicly,
said her health
but
issues,
insiders
man.
claim it's now part of the investigation. In the weeks leading up to her death, Anne Burrell's public image appeared as radiant and full of life as ever. She was smiling in
Man,
her
them
social
cameras
media
can lie,
posts,
man.
promoting recipes,
They
even
can edit
teasing a possible
your
TV
whole face.
return. But behind the curated snapshots was a much more fragile reality. Close friends now say that Anne had begun pulling away, canceling dinners, ignoring texts, and missing Zoom meetings for upcoming food projects. One confidant revealed she started saying things like, If I don't make it to that event, promise me you'll go anyway. I thought it was just stress. I didn't realize it was something darker. Even more disturbing was what her hairstylist of 10 years shared. During what would be their final appointment together, Anne reportedly asked, "Do you think people will remember me for more than as reflective, maybe even philosophical?" But now, in retrospect, those words sting with heartbreaking clarity. Mental health struggles often wear a mask, especially among high achievers. And Anne was no stranger to pressure. From running a restaurant to filming under grueling TV production hours to writing books, the burden to always perform was relentless. Insiders say Anne had expressed recent anxiety about aging in the culinary world, where younger, flashier talent was constantly emerging. She felt like she was being phased out of the spotlight, even though her fans never stopped loving her.
Big booty
Her husband
hoes,
Stuart,
jump with it,
now
jump
processing
with
this
it,
unbearable
jump with
loss,
it, jump
told
with
a
it.
family friend. She kept saying she was tired. I thought it was about work.
Everybody like them
I
big
didn't know she
booty
meant
hoes,
life.
nigga.
And
They
yet she
taking
kept
over,
showing
man.
up until she couldn't
Fine ass
anymore.
hoes, big booty
In the
black
days
hoes, man.
following Anne Burrell's sudden passing,
All you gotta do is
investigators
shake some
began their
ass,
work
nigga,
to
and
piece
start
together
kicking. That's what everybody
exactly
wanna
what
see.
had happened. While there was no sign
Damn
of
that
forced
chain,
entry
nigga.
or obvious foul play, the unusual number of pills
Nigga,
found surrounding her
all
body
you gotta do
became the
now these
focus
days
of
is
early
shake some ass,
reports.
nigga.
Sources close to the
And bitch,
investigation
they getting
hinted that some of the
100,000
substances
views
found
right here,
were
nigga.
prescription medications, antidepressants, painkillers, and anxiety pills, all common, but concerning in large quantities.
Well,
Toxicology
cook a little
reports were
something,
ordered,
head ass.
and experts emphasized the importance of waiting for the official autopsy to determine whether her death was accidental, intentional, or the result of a tragic medical episode. Law enforcement did not immediately suspect foul play, but they didn't rule out any possibilities either. Here's where things became even more complicated. Friends claimed Anne had seemed upbeat and enthusiastic just days before her death, making social media posts and engaging in lighthearted cooking content. Was it all a facade, or did something truly unexpected and irreversible happen? But what investigators uncovered next cast a completely new light on everything. Stay with me, because this is where it gets even more chilling. As authorities delved deeper into Anne Burrell's last few days, they began interviewing those closest to her. Friends, colleagues, and family members, including her husband, Stuart Claxton, and stepson. What emerged was a mixed picture, one of a woman who appeared fine on the surface, but may have been battling something far more serious beneath it all. Close friends told investigators that Anne had recently been under immense stress. Professionally, she was as active as ever, juggling TV appearances, cookbook projects, and her restaurant responsibilities. But privately, sources say, she had been grappling with overwhelming exhaustion and reportedly felt unappreciated by parts of the food media and culinary industry that once celebrated her. Her stepson, in a quiet but emotional conversation with investigators, revealed something that would change the tone of the entire case, that Anne had recently spoken about feeling
People gotta
invisible
understand. I told
and
you,
being
man.
done with everything.
Nothing lasts forever,
He
man.
admitted that he hadn't taken
If
it
that's they
seriously
love
at
you,
the
people,
time,
they
thinking she was
kick
just
the boot.
venting.
Keep you
But
going.
now, in hindsight, those words haunted him. Even more disturbing was a journal reportedly discovered in Anne's bedroom drawer, filled with personal reflections, some optimistic,
Goofy ass went
others
to
deeply
the movie
troubling.
business.
And what she wrote in her final entry, that part left even seasoned investigators speechless. Among Anne Burrell's personal belongings, police discovered a leather-bound journal, tucked beneath a stack of cookbooks in her nightstand. It appeared to be something she'd kept sporadically for years, part recipe archive, part life diary. But the final entry, dated just 2 nights before her death, sent a chill down the spine of everyone who read it. It read, "I gave everything I had, to food, to joy, to people, but somehow I'm still starving, not for food, but for peace. If this is my last page, let it be known. I tried."
See?
The rawness of that final
I tell
paragraph
people,
was
man,
haunting. It painted a portrait
you
of a
busy
woman who
helping
felt
other
she
people
had
out,
poured her soul into her craft,
and then nobody
into
can
her
cheer for
public
you.
persona,
And then people
and
don't
into
believe in
others,
God,
but
Yahweh.
was quietly
So
withering
their whole life
inside.
come down
Her
crumbling.
words
You
didn't
know what I'm
mention
saying?
suicide
Like,
explicitly, but the emotion
people
behind
don't
them
understand the
suggested
value
a
of how
deep
much
pain that
God
few
Yahweh
had
really
truly
is,
understood.
man. In this
Medical
crazy ass
examiners were still waiting for
evil world.
toxicology reports, and the official cause of death remained pending. But the journal was now considered a critical piece of the investigation, potentially providing insight into her mental state leading up to her tragic end. What no one
Damn,
expected next
1969?
was the revelation that someone may have known this was coming. The story seemed like it couldn't get any more heartbreaking. A close friend of Anne's, who asked to remain anonymous, revealed a private text message exchange from the week before her death. In the message, Anne wrote, "I don't know how much longer I can keep doing this. I'm tired. Not just from work, I'm just tired of pretending everything's fine." The friend, understandably shaken, said she didn't grasp the full weight of the message at the time. Anne had always used humor to mask pain, the friend explained. "I thought she was venting. We all vent. But now I replay that text in my head every night, wondering if that was her asking for help." This wasn't a message of someone seeking attention. It was a message of someone on the verge of surrender. Combined with the journal entry and the presence of the pills, the signs now seemed too loud to ignore. It painted a devastating picture of a woman who had given the world joy, food, laughter, and had quietly run out of fuel for herself. And yet, there was still one more piece of the puzzle, something that her husband, Stuart Claxton, had been hesitant to talk about until now. What he said next changed everything. After days of speculation and media frenzy, Stuart Claxton, Anne Burrell's husband, finally addressed the public. What he shared was as heart-wrenching as it was illuminating. In an emotional interview, Stuart admitted, "Anne wasn't herself the past few months. She was withdrawn, irritable, and constantly exhausted. I chalked it up to overwork, but deep down, I saw it coming. I just didn't want to believe it." He went on to share a night that haunted him, the night before her death. "She came to bed late, didn't say much, just kissed me on the forehead and whispered, 'You'll be okay.' At the time, it felt strange, like a goodbye. When he found her the next morning, unresponsive, surrounded by prescription bottles, he said his world shattered. But what broke him even more was reading her journal afterward. Reading those thoughts, those cries for help, written in silence while the cameras rolled and the world applauded. Stuart's final message? If someone you love seems off, don't wait. Ask, dig, push if you must. Because I didn't, and now I'm living in a nightmare." Anne Burrell was more than a celebrity chef. She was a bold personality, a culinary trailblazer, a woman who lit up every room she entered, and someone who was quietly fighting her own battles in the shadows. From her early days in the kitchen to becoming a Food Network icon, she inspired millions.
Man, niggas don't give a
with her
fuck about what you
confidence,
going through until it's
charisma,
too
and
late, bitch.
fearlessness.
That's just the
Yet
sad
behind that
truth of
electric
life, bitch.
smile was a woman worn down by
They
pressure,
don't give a fuck about what niggas
expectations,
go through,
and
nigga.
silent
If they
suffering.
don't benefit off
We've
what you got
uncovered the
going on,
heartbreaking details of her final days. The
they
journal
can
entries that
capitalize
hinted
or
at
control
despair,
you, bitch, or
the pill
manipulate
bottles,
you, nigga. They
the
don't give a
missed
fuck what you
signs,
going through, nigga.
and the family left
If they ain't
grappling
getting
with
shit out of
painful
you, bitch, they
truths.
don't give a fuck what
But
you got
here's what we
going,
need to
bitch.
remember. Mental health
You know what I'm
matters.
saying?
No one, no matter
Yeah,
how
that's
successful, famous,
just
or
like
joyful they may appear, is immune to the weight of their inner struggles. And too often, that weight goes unnoticed until it's too
you help
late.
all these motherfuckers out in the
So,
world, bitch.
what can we take from this?
Nigga
Check
don't give
in
a
on
fuck
your
about
strong
who.
friends.
Niggas don't give a fuck
Don't
about
dismiss
niggas.
signs as
I'll be honest,
just
nigga.
stress. And most importantly, don't suffer in silence. You are never alone. Rest in peace, Anne Burrell. You left behind more than recipes. You left behind a reminder that even stars need saving sometimes.
Man, you need God, Yahweh.
Never sue the other.
Hey, so Anne Barrett, you know, she was like a top chef. I guess she took herself out. You know what I'm saying? I really didn't like watch a lot of her cooking. You know what I'm saying? Like my auntie did, but hey, like I tell y'all nigga, all that famous celebrity stuff, it don't mean nothing when you lose your you don't have no soul, no mind frame. You just fuck.
New details about the death of Food Network star Anne Burrell. Reports now say it was her husband who found her unresponsive.
Celebrity chef Anne Burrell, known for her fiery personality and
There's a lot of
culinary
celebrities who be
brilliance,
taking their
has
lives.
always lived life on her own terms.
That sucks.
But what no one expected was the staggering fortune she quietly built behind the scenes. When news of her estate surfaced, it wasn't just the wealth that shocked her family. It was the heartfelt way she chose to distribute it. Hidden letters, emotional messages, and unexpected gifts left loved ones in tears. What secrets did Anne leave behind? And why did her final act touch everyone so deeply? The answers are unforgettable. A
That's
flame
how it
that
goes,
never
man.
fades. When celebrity chef and beloved television star Anne Burrell passed away on June 17th, 2025, at the age of 55, it felt as if a
So
bright
she
light
passed away
had
in
suddenly
June,
flickered out
bitch.
in kitchens across America. Anne was instantly recognizable with her spiky platinum blonde hair, her bold, unforgettable flavors, and her straightforward, no-nonsense approach to cooking and life. But she was much more than just a chef. She was a whirlwind of passion and energy who inspired millions to step into the kitchen with confidence and joy. Her passing left behind a wave of grief, but also sparked a deep reflection on the incredible legacy she created during her lifetime. Anne's rise in the culinary world was anything but overnight. She began in the humblest of roles, as a line cook, working her way up the demanding ranks in some of New York City's top kitchens. It was in
All that
2005
goddamn
that she
stress,
earned her
nigga.
big break, joining the popular show Iron
Man, they,
Chef America
you know,
as the sous
you
chef
get
to
that
Mario
fame,
Batali. Chef America as the sous
all
chef
that
to
fame,
Mario Batali.
success, celebrity
Her
status,
energy,
nigga, and then
skill,
when you look,
and sharp
let's say you're not
sense
the
of humor
same level you
quickly
used to
caught the
be.
attention of
That shit can
viewers
be stressful, man.
nationwide. By 2008, Anne was ready for her spotlight, hosting Secrets of a Restaurant Chef, a show that made complicated restaurant dishes seem possible to recreate at home. However, it was her role on Worst Cooks in America that truly made her a household name. With her tough love teaching style mixed with real kindness, she took complete kitchen beginners and transformed them into confident cooks, entertaining audiences for over a decade. Anne's influence went far beyond television screens. She authored best-selling cookbooks, taught thousands of students both in classrooms and online, and dedicated herself to mentoring young chefs eager to follow in her footsteps. Her cooking style, a rustic Italian with a fierce personality, matched her bold attitude perfectly. Her catchphrases like "brown food tastes good" and "confidence is the most important ingredient" became mantras for home cooks everywhere, encouraging them to cook fearlessly. Though she was famous and beloved, Anne fought a quiet, private battle with dermatomyositis, a rare autoimmune disease that slowly weakens muscles. Despite her illness, she chose to keep working, teaching, filming, and smiling, never letting her condition define her. Her last public moment, a live-streamed cooking class just 2 weeks before she passed, showed a woman still
Damn, so she had a cooking class before she
even
was.
if a little slower than before. At the time of her death, Anne's net worth was estimated between $8 and $10 million, but her true wealth was in what she chose to do with it. In her will, she established a $3 million scholarship fund to support aspiring chefs from
Damn.
underrepresented backgrounds, opening doors for the next generation. She also left meaningful gifts to former students, animal shelters, and her loyal staff. Her cherished herb garden, now the resting place for her ashes, is being transformed
Oh, they
into a
cremated
special
goofy ass.
culinary
Damn.
learning space, a living tribute to her
Shit,
lifelong
hey, I don't be
love of
understanding with you
food
white people,
and
man. Y'all
teaching.
gonna get
Anne
burnt. Then
Burrell's
y'all
life was
already
one
gonna
of
get burnt
passion,
again. Like, damn, bitch.
perseverance, and generosity. Though she is gone, the flame she lit in kitchens and hearts across the country continues to burn bright. Anne didn't just inspire cooks, she awakened kitchens. Anne Burrell's spirit, generosity, and fiery passion will nourish hearts and minds for generations to come. But as her legacy lives on, one haunting question remains. What truly happened in her final moments? A shocking goodbye. Behind Anne Burrell's dazzling platinum smile and warm, unforgettable laugh was a woman carrying hidden pain few ever saw. She had a way of lighting up every room she entered, captivating
had,
television viewers, inspiring home cooks, and
an
winning
addiction,
hearts
bitch.
with her deep love for food and life.
My chicken that I crusted with coriander, and I'm getting my cauliflower a whole head.
But when news of her sudden and mysterious death
Off
broke,
that candy,
it
bitch.
didn't just shake her family and friends. It sent waves of shock and sorrow through the entire nation. This chapter takes us into the heart-wrenching moment when her husband, Stuart Claxton, made the devastating discovery that would forever change his life. What he found that day inside their home didn't just shatter his world. It left everyone wondering how someone
She
so
off that
full of
goddamn
energy,
candy, bitch.
success, and spirit could vanish so quickly and mysteriously. The questions came fast and furious. but clear answers were nowhere to be found. How could a woman who seemed so vibrant be gone in an instant?
Cause that shows
Mystery
you.
grew deeper with
Nigga, cause you see these niggas
passing
happy
hour.
on camera
In
don't
the
mean they
chaotic
happy
hours
in
that
life.
followed, the media rushed in. Headlines exploded across TV screens and social media, echoing the same stunned disbelief. Fans and fellow chefs struggled to accept the shocking truth. There were no explanations, no quick answers, just a heavy silence and a rising tide of rumors. Was it an accident? Was there something more hidden beneath the surface? The unanswered questions only fueled the public's hunger for the truth. Yet, while the world searched for facts, another story quietly surfaced. A story far more personal and raw. It was no longer just about what happened that tragic day, but about who Anne truly was behind the cameras and cookbooks. Beneath the bright, polished image was a woman who had battled private struggles and carried invisible burdens that few understood. She had brought joy to so many, but had she found enough joy for herself? Those closest to her began to share their memories, revealing a more complete picture of a passionate, complex soul. Stuart, overwhelmed with grief and shock, suddenly found himself at the center of a storm. He wasn't just mourning the loss of his beloved wife. He was facing the intense pressure of a public desperate for answers. As he tried to come to terms with this unimaginable loss, he also took on the responsibility to protect Anne's memory and honor the legacy she left behind. Her death became more than just a headline. It sparked urgent conversations about mental health, loneliness, and the heavy cost of fame. It reminded the world that even the brightest stars can struggle unseen in the darkest shadows. Anne's story became a mirror, urging everyone to look more closely at
It really is crazy.
Listen to the silent
You know what I'm
cries that
saying?
often go
People's
unheard.
whole dreams could be like,
For the ones who people they love,
you
and
want to
listen
be
to the silent
successful,
cries that often
you want to have a
go
family,
unheard.
you want to be
This tragic
established
event was
person,
not simply
however
an
it goes.
ending.
Fight
It
for
was the
freedom,
start
however.
of a deeper understanding.
And then you get to the
A
position,
journey to uncover
and then you
truths
just
about
KO,
love,
take yourself out. I don't know if she did that, like,
and the incredible
that's what
impact
happened.
one life
Because, you
can
know, there's
have on
always
so
some
many.
goofy shit behind
Anne Burrell's
some
legacy
shit you
didn't
did,
end
but
with her passing. In many ways, it was only just beginning. Anne Burrell's passing didn't mark an end. It sparked reflection, revealed quiet truths,
I
and
mean,
inspired
them
deeper
drug
connection.
overdoses ain't no
Though
joke.
she's gone, her spirit lingers.
You know what
Now
I'm saying?
let's look back on the
You get a
vibrant,
bad dose, a
fearless
bad
life that made her
a
truly
bad batch of
unforgettable.
you know what I'm saying?
From Cazenovia
That shit could take your
to
ass out
culinary fame,
expeditiously.
Anne Burrell's
Really?
story is much more than just a story about cooking. It's a powerful journey filled with courage, passion, and determination. It's the story of a woman who fought hard to earn her place in a world that doesn't easily welcome women, especially in the competitive kitchens of the culinary world.
So we're using bone-in, skin-on chicken breast.
Born and raised in the quiet village of Cazenovia, New York, Anne's love
Yeah,
for
it's a crazy
food started
RP,
in
I
a
ain't gonna
very
cap, you know what I'm
familiar
saying?
place. Her family kitchen. It was
You
a
know,
lively space full of
when you get to do
warmth,
anything you
laughter,
want,
and
you got the
comforting
money on to do
smells of
anything you
home-cooked
want, nigga, that shit
meals.
can be
For
crazy.
Anne, cooking
You can
wasn't
smoke on
about
all the
fancy
drugs.
recipes or perfect techniques.
You can fuck on
It was
all
about
the
bringing
bitches.
people together,
You
being
can drink
creative,
all the
and
liquor.
finding joy in simple
Nothing's
moments.
stopping you.
That early love
You know
for
what I'm
cooking
saying?
soon
Like,
grew
bruh,
into something
this shit
much
crazy.
bigger. Anne didn't just want to make food. She wanted to become a true master of her craft. So she took a bold step many wouldn't dare to take. She left the safety of her small hometown and chased her culinary dreams far away. Her journey led her to Italy, where she trained under some of the world's best chefs in intense, demanding kitchens, including a Michelin-starred restaurant. In those tough kitchens, Anne learned more than just how to prepare food. She learned how to stand her ground. She faced long hours, tough bosses, and a kitchen culture that was often ruled by men. Every shift was a challenge, and every dish she made was her way of proving that she belonged. When Anne returned to New York,
I'm really
she
trying
brought
to
with
figure
her
out
not
what's
only
going
new
on, you know what
skills,
I'm saying?
but
Like,
also a fierce passion that couldn't be ignored. She quickly climbed the ladder, leading some of the city's most respected kitchens. Her cooking style was bold and full of energy, completely true to who she was. She wasn't trying to copy anyone else. She was making her mark. and people took
You know
notice.
how they already got some
Her
sun,
strong
like,
personality,
what
combined
happened?
with her friendly
Could have
and
been this
down-to-earth nature,
type shit.
soon made her a natural for television. When Anne appeared on screen, she brought something fresh and real to American food TV. With her spiky blonde hair, booming laugh, and honest, no-nonsense attitude, she connected with viewers in a way few chefs do. She made cooking feel possible and fun for everyone, no matter their background or experience. This part of Anne's life is about much more than just recipes or fame. It's the story of a woman who rose from small-town beginnings and overlooked jobs to become a chef admired by many. Anne Burrell didn't just find a seat at the table. She built her own, pulled up a chair, and invited others to join her. Her journey reminds us all that with passion, hard work, and staying true to yourself, you can create something much bigger than success. You can build a lasting legacy. Anne's journey was never easy, but she faced every challenge head-on. Her courage shattered barriers, and her fire lit the way for many. Now, let's uncover Anne Burrell's untold battles and quiet strength. More than a chef. Beneath the bright lights, spiky hair, and fiery kitchen persona that made Anne Burrell a household name, there was a woman whose story was just as rich and layered as any dish she ever created.
This water needs to be as salty as the ocean. The purpose of salt.
While her fame was loud and unmistakable, her struggles were quiet, private, and deeply real. Behind that bold laugh and fierce confidence lived someone who, like many of us, faced moments of heartbreak, failure, and intense self-reflection. Anne's love life often caught public attention, not because she sought the spotlight, but because she lived her truth openly in a world that constantly watched her every move. She experienced her share of relationships, some high-profile and played out in the media, while others slipped away quietly. The most touching chapter of her journey, however, began when she found love in the most unexpected place, with Stuart Claxton, a marketing executive and single dad. Their relationship wasn't just sweet, it was deeply grounding and genuine. Anne, who once admitted she might never marry, found in Stuart a steady partner who brought balance to her life. Their love blossomed later in life, proving that timing matters, and sometimes love arrives exactly when it's meant to. While her heart found peace, her professional life faced its trials. Anne's passion for food led her to open her restaurant, a dream many chefs hold close. But reality often has its plans. The restaurant faced challenges and ultimately had to close. For someone used to success and rising above obstacles, the failure was painful. The demands of running a kitchen, keeping her brand alive, and meeting the expectations of fans and critics weighed heavily on her. Yet Anne refused to let that define her. Like she had always done, she got back up and kept moving forward. Living life in the public eye meant her setbacks were never private. Every stumble sparked whispers, opinions, and headlines. Still, Anne never stopped pushing onward. She transformed each setback into fuel, turning pain into strength. Her resilience wasn't loud or dramatic. It was steady, deeply rooted, and quietly inspiring. Anne Burrell's story is as much about the woman behind the apron as the chef in front of the camera. She experienced the highest highs of fame and the lowest lows of disappointment, but through it all, she emerged with greater wisdom and an undiminished heart. Her laugh, big, bold, and full of life, remains one of her signature traits. But more than anything, she can keep laughing, even when life was tough. That truly shows the depth and strength of who she was. Behind the bold chef was a woman who faced life's hardships with heart, inspiring countless others to believe, persevere, and start anew. Now, let's explore Anne Burrell's bold impact on cooking shows and home kitchens everywhere. Beyond the recipes, Anne Burrell's presence on television was nothing short of electric, bold, lively, and unforgettable. She wasn't just any chef standing in front of a camera listing recipes. She was a powerful personality who turned every episode into a memorable experience.
I mean, like they said, she donated $3 million to like a foundation to help
energy and
people
straightforward, no-nonsense
crazy backgrounds to get
Anne brought
cooking.
much more
That's
than
what's up.
cooking lessons to the
You know
screen.
what I'm saying? 'Cause
She brought confidence, humor, and
I always
genuine
say,
heart.
man, one thing
Watching
that
her
people
wasn't
gonna
just
always
about
need in the
learning how to
world is
cook.
somebody who
It was
can
about
cook.
believing you could cook,
You know what I'm
no
saying?
matter
Who
your
can cook
skill
and get to
level
the
or
food,
background.
nigga.
One of Anne's most iconic roles
If
was
you
on the popular and long-running show Worst Cooks in America,
if you can
where she
cook,
became more than a chef.
if
She
you can
became a
cook
culinary life coach.
Oh my
and get
gosh,
to
what is
the
that?
food, nigga, you up.
What is that?
What's that?
Nigga, if you can get to
Joel, what is that?
make some money on, well not make money on,
Week
but that's
after week,
3.
Anne
But
took
if you can cook
complete
some
kitchen
food
novices, people who could
and
barely boil
and make the
water,
food and
and
get the food,
transformed
nigga, you
them
up.
into surprisingly capable cooks. But her work went far beyond just teaching knife skills or seasoning. She pushed her students to believe in themselves, mixing tough love with warmth and encouragement. Viewers were drawn not only to the dramatic cooking makeovers, but also to the deep personal growth happening within each contestant. Her rare ability to balance fierce competition with heartfelt mentorship made her a standout star and a beloved favorite on the show. Yet, Anne's influence wasn't limited to just one program. On Secrets of a Restaurant Chef, she showed everyday viewers how to bring professional-level cooking into their kitchens. She made complicated dishes seem approachable without losing flavor or technique. Her Emmy-nominated performance proved she was not only skilled, but also one of the most engaging and effective cooking teachers on TV. Anne broke down every step with passion and clarity, turning fine dining into something anyone could enjoy and master, all while keeping it fun
But
and
a lot of
relaxed.
niggas say they can cook,
Anne's
can't even
talents
cook,
also
to
shone
be
brightly
honest,
on
you know what I'm
competitive
saying?
cooking shows like Iron Chef
And
America,
that's a lot of these
Chopped
chefs
All
free.
Stars, and
Not saying that
countless
she
guest
can't cook,
spots
cause
across
you
the
know what I'm
Food
saying,
Network.
she can cook.
Whether she was facing
I'm just
off
saying
against
chefs
other
in general.
chefs in intense
It be
kitchen
a lot of
battles,
chefs
or judging the
who
dishes
saying
of
they can
hopeful
cook,
cooks, she
cause they
brought
make the
the
food
same
look good
fiery passion and
and taste
fairness
somewhat
that
good, but that's
defined
not
her
cooking.
style. Her critiques were
Cooking is
honest,
like,
her
nigga, like, you
standards
feel me?
high,
Like
but she never lost her
a
playful
normal,
humor or
natural,
deep
everyday
love for the
team.
culinary craft.
You know what I'm saying? It's
Through
not
every
just like,
challenge,
you feel
every
me?
laugh, and every dish she shared,
Can you cook some
Anne
shit when you
Burrell
ain't got the
reshaped
shit?
what it means to be a teacher in
You
the
know what I'm
culinary
saying?
spotlight. She didn't
When
just
you ain't got
instruct people
shit,
on how to cook.
can
She
you cook that
inspired
shit?
them.
Can you turn
Anne
that shit
reminded us
into
all
something
that
nice
cooking is about far more than
and something
just
great and amazing to
ingredients.
eat?
It's about
You
courage,
know what I'm saying? That's cooking.
creativity, and connecting with
Not when you
others.
got every fucking
Watching
thing
her,
in the book.
viewers didn't just learn
You know what I'm
recipes,
saying? You can
they
cook.
learned to believe in
That's
their
cooking,
ability to create something
but that's not
amazing.
cooking.
And that,
You ain't
more
got
than
it, and you
anything
cooking
else,
it, and you make
is
it
the
taste like it's the
lasting
best thing,
legacy
a
Anne
5-star
Burrell
restaurant
leaves
food.
behind
That's
on
cooking.
screen and in kitchens everywhere. Anne Burrell was more than a TV chef.
Some
She
nigga got all the
inspired
food in the
millions
world
with her
and still
fiery
can't
spirit
cook,
and genuine
but
care,
they
transforming
got the stuff
kitchens
to make
into
it look
spaces
good,
of
to make it think
confidence
it's
and
edible.
creativity.
But a
Now,
real
let's
chef is
explore
somebody
how
who
her
ain't got it,
influence
who can really
continues
make
to
it
live
out of
on
nothing
through
and make it
every
taste good.
inspired cook. A legacy beyond the plate. Even though Anne Burrell has passed away, her spirit and influence feel more alive than ever.
Well, some sad news today in the dining world. Celebrity chef Anne Burrell died at the age of
A lot of
55
niggas
in her
don't know
home
how
in
to cook,
Brooklyn.
man.
Her impact did not stop when she left this world. It grew stronger, spreading in ways that continue to inspire and touch countless lives. In this final chapter of her story, we take a closer look at how her legacy is still thriving, reaching people from all backgrounds and walks of life. Anne's deep love for food and cooking didn't end with her career. It lives on through the scholarships she helped establish. These scholarships open doors for aspiring chefs who might not have had the chance otherwise. No matter where they come from, these young cooks are given hope and opportunity to follow their dreams. Beyond this,
Well, I don't
Anne
know about
quietly
this
supported
time in the
many
fucking
charitable causes,
generation we live
helping
in.
feed the hungry
They might
and uplift
scam and
those
finesse
in
all that
need.
money on she
The
gave.
flame she ignited
Let's
in
be
hopeful
honest.
cooks burns
Nigga, they
brightly
gonna get them
still,
motherfucking
guiding them
Bentleys,
as they learn, grow,
iPhone
and chase
25s
their
and shit. You
culinary
know what I'm saying?
dreams,
Goofy shit.
from classrooms to busy restaurant kitchens and everywhere in between. Her cooking shows, which fans still watch in reruns, have taken on a new, special meaning. They are no longer just entertaining programs. They are timeless treasures filled with her laughter, bold personality, and fearless teaching style. Every time one of her episodes airs, a new generation of viewers discovers the magic she shared. Her vibrant energy leaps off the screen, making everyone feel as if they're right there with her, cooking up something delicious and having fun. Fans continue to honor Anne's memory with beautiful tributes, stunning artwork, heartfelt videos, and personal stories about how she changed their lives. Social media buzzes with posts celebrating her recipes, her wise advice, and her unforgettable charm. The Food Network has paid homage to her with touching memorials, special shows, and clips highlighting her best moments on camera. But Anne's true legacy isn't just found in videos, awards, or social media. It lives on in the people she inspired. Every student who nervously picks up a knife for the first time carries a bit of Anne's courage inside them. Every home cook who dares to try a bold, new recipe channels her adventurous spirit. Her influence is woven into every home-cooked meal, felt in the joy of shared dinners, and heard in the laughter that fills kitchens when something doesn't go quite as planned, just the way Anne would have loved. Though Anne is no longer with us in body, her presence remains everywhere. It's in the aroma of garlic sizzling in olive oil, the clatter of pots and pans, and the excitement that comes with trying something new in the kitchen. Her sharp wit, deep wisdom, and warm heart continue to guide and inspire people every day. Anne Burrell may have left this world, but she is far from forgotten. Her story is not finished. It is simply being told in fresh and beautiful ways, through the hands and hearts of all those she touched. So what do you think about Anne's fortune that left her family in tears? We would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below.
That's cooked.
Don't forget to like
If there's a
and
drug
subscribe.
overdose, we're going to keep on watching because more stuff. But
Have you heard of
shout out to World of Stars. Yep, man. You know, that's how it goes, man. You know? Sucks is 55, though. That's like kind of young. Ain't she a millionaire? Fuck, nigga. Like I tell y'all niggas, man. That fortune and fame really don't be what it's cracked up to be. It's literally the ties you have with God, Yahweh.
The kitchen has gone silent. Anne
And
Burrell,
sometimes the
the
people
vibrant
you
Food
bring
Network
along
star,
with you.
known for her fiery
You know
hair
what I'm saying?
and even firier
Because sometimes
passion
the
for
people you
food,
bring along with
is
you,
gone at
they be
just
the main ones who
55.
push her ass to do some
But
goofy
what
shit.
really happened in her final days, and what was the
You know
heartbreaking
what I'm saying?
final message
The
she
people you
left
trying to help
behind?
out be the main
Stay
ones who
with
try
us,
to force your
because
goofy
this
ass to do
tribute
some
takes a
bozo
turn
shit.
no one saw coming. And what happened at her funeral has left fans speechless. Anne Burrell wasn't just a chef. She was a blazing force in the culinary world, a woman who turned the heat up not only in the kitchen but also in our hearts. With her bold style, spunky attitude, and unforgettable catchphrases, she became a staple on the Food Network and a mentor to countless aspiring chefs. But on what should have been just another ordinary day, news of her sudden death sent shockwaves across the globe. In this video, we're diving deep into the life, legacy, and mysterious final chapter of Anne Burrell's story. We'll walk you through the timeline of her final
The
days,
sad part
the emotional
is, man,
scenes from her private
a
funeral,
lot of
and the
people
tributes that brought even the toughest chefs to
pass
tears.
away
But most chilling of all,
from drug
we've
overdoses.
uncovered details
You know what
about
I'm
her
saying?
final
That's a sad-
words,
that's a sad,
something so
unfortunately, that's a
intimate,
sad
so
truth.
unexpected. It left even her closest friends stunned. From her iconic rise on Worst Cooks in America to the tragedy of her last moments, this isn't just a tribute, it's a revelation. You won't believe what insiders shared about her health, her regrets, and the strange silence surrounding her
Cause she
final
already
weeks.
has some shit
So
going
sit
on with her
tight,
health already.
because this is where it gets
Hey, I ain't
personal.
gonna say, man, something with
And
these
by
white
the end
people,
of
man,
the
they
story,
always
you'll
something wrong with
understand
these
why
motherfuckers.
Anne's death wasn't just a loss for fans, it was a wake-up call for the entire culinary world. For someone whose life was filled with flavor, Anne Burrell's final days were eerily quiet and full of unanswered questions. Just weeks before
I
the
know because
heartbreaking
the food,
announcement, fans noticed something strange.
the
Anne had
medicine,
gone almost completely
water.
silent on social media. No new recipes,
people
no
getting
behind-the-scenes
sick,
photos
and
from Food Network
all
sets,
types of goofy
not
shit.
even her usual playful videos from her home kitchen. For someone who is usually full of life, this digital silence raised eyebrows. Those closest to her later revealed that Anne had been battling severe exhaustion and recurring health issues in private. Though she never spoke publicly about any long-term illness, insiders say she had confided in a few close friends that she was feeling off and needed to step back from filming. Some even said she'd been canceling public appearances at the last minute, something entirely out of character for the dependable and
All that money
enthusiastic
on in
chef.
the world.
Behind the
And you
scenes,
ain't got
Anne
no
was
help.
reportedly seeing specialists, quietly,
Mind
without
breaking
media
down.
attention. She didn't want her
None of
fans
the
to
people
worry.
that surround
One
your
friend said,
friends, you ain't
Anne
got
always
nobody.
wanted to be seen
You know
as
what I'm saying?
strong.
That should be
She
difficult, bro.
hated the idea of people seeing her vulnerable.
So you
But as her
successful,
condition
but you
worsened,
famous and you
so did her
rich,
isolation.
but
And
none of
then,
that bring
without
no type of
warning,
warrant.
the shocking news broke. Ann Burrell
People you
had
think that's
passed
gonna
away
be
in her
supporting
home
you,
at the age of
who gonna
55.
rock with you, be
There
the
was
main
no
ones who
elaborate press
fucking you
release.
over.
Just
I'm
a
like,
brief,
damn,
almost
bitch.
clinical statement from her family
You gotta have a
asking for
strong-minded
privacy.
relationship with God, man.
Fans were stunned. Colleagues like Bobby Flay, Alex Guarnaschelli, and Guy Fieri were blindsided. I just talked to her, one of them posted in
Everybody act like
disbelief.
they want to be your
How
friend.
could she be
They want to
gone?
help you out.
But here's
then they
the
want you to
shocking
kiss
part
their
they don't
ass
want you to know.
when
Someone
and
very
then when you
close to
say
Ann
no, they fuck
allegedly
you
tried to
over.
suppress details about
I'm
what
like,
truly
bruh.
caused her death. Was it a
Success
health-related issue,
and money,
or was
man.
something being hidden? Stay with us, because
It
in the next
can help your
chapter,
ass, but
we
it can bring your
uncover
ass to some
exactly what
crazy
happened in
ass.
her
It
final
can bring
hours,
you,
and the
man, you let
mysterious
it.
call made just before her passing. In the hours leading up to Ann Burrell's tragic passing, something happened that even her closest confidants
People be
couldn't
jealous.
explain. A
They
phone
want what
call
you got,
that
but
now
they can't
feels
handle what
haunting
you
in
got.
retrospect.
You know what I'm saying? You stay in your
According
own
to a
lane, they
close
still
family
fuck
friend,
you over.
Ann had placed
You know
a
what I'm
single
saying? Like,
private
bruh.
phone call just hours before she died. It wasn't to her husband, her family, or even to a fellow Food Network star. It was to her longtime assistant and trusted confidant, someone who had worked with Ann for over a decade. The contents of that call,
Like how her
still a mystery.
husband didn't know that she was going
But
through
what
this
we
shit.
do know is this.
I ain't saying that he
She
could have
said
prevented
4
it,
chilling words
but you
before
get what I'm
hanging up.
saying?
I think it's time. Time for what? That's what shocked everyone.
True.
Her assistant, who wished to remain anonymous, said Ann didn't sound scared or in pain, but rather calm. It was like she'd made peace with something. She wasn't panicked. She just said it softly, and then the line went dead. That phone call has now become the center of speculation. Some believe Ann may have been battling a long, undiagnosed illness and had finally reached a point of surrender. Others think the emotional and physical toll of decades in the culinary spotlight had simply worn her down. She was, after all, a workhorse, leading shows, writing books, mentoring rising chefs, and traveling constantly. For years, Ann had pushed her limits. Could it be that her body finally pushed back? Paramedics were called to Ann's upstate New York residence early in the morning, after she failed to respond to multiple messages and calls. When they arrived, they found her in her kitchen, the very place she loved the most. A tea kettle still warm, a notepad on the counter, and, most haunting of all, a short handwritten letter addressed to those I love. While the full contents of the letter haven't been released publicly,
for sure.
a source close to the family confirmed that Ann's final written words
She took herself
included a
out.
message of gratitude to her fans and a heartfelt goodbye to her mother, her brother, and her husband. She was at peace, the source said, but the fact that she wrote the letter tells us she knew the end was near.
Yeah.
And yet no official cause of death was released immediately. No
That's
mention
what I
of
be
heart
trying to tell you,
failure,
people, man.
stroke, or long-term
You can have a
illness.
family.
Just a simple request from the
You could
family
be
for
living your
privacy.
goals, your
That only
dreams.
fueled speculation online. Was there more to Ann's passing than anyone
If you
was
ain't got no
willing to
relationship
share?
with God, man,
And just when we thought the story couldn't get
anything
more
can happen.
emotional,
But like I
details
said,
of Ann's private funeral began to emerge. And
niggas
what
die
happened
every
during
day
the tribute
from
ceremony
drug
left
overdoses. You
even
know what I'm saying?
celebrity
But
chefs
if this
in
was
tears.
forced and she did it on her
When
own,
word spread that Ann
I
Burrell
can't
had
say she didn't have no
passed,
relationship with
fans
God, but
around
at the
the
same
world
time,
mourned. But those who knew
she
her
was
best
obviously going
gathered
through
in an
something.
intimate, emotional ceremony that honored the woman behind the flame-colored
Sure.
hair, the fearless energy, and the fierce culinary passion. Ann's funeral was held just 5 days after her passing at a quiet chapel in upstate New York, a place she loved, nestled among the hills and trees that reminded her of her childhood. It was not a media spectacle. No red carpets,
But that's the
no
thing.
TV crews,
Some
just
people take
friends,
themselves out
family,
because
and a few
they
select
don't
colleagues
have a
who
lot.
had walked beside her
She took
through the
herself out
highs
and
and
she had
lows
a
of her
lot.
journey.
You get
The
what I'm
moment that
saying?
silenced the entire chapel came when her mother, Marlene Burrell, stepped up to the podium. Choking back tears, she recalled the moment Ann first held a wooden spoon. She wasn't even tall enough to reach the stove, she said, but she looked up at me with those big eyes and said, "I'm going to make something amazing." And she did, every day of her life. But perhaps the most emotional tribute came from one of her former contestants from Worst Cooks in America, who had flown in from across the country to speak. With tears in his eyes, he recalled how Ann's mentorship helped him not only become a better cook, but a better man. "She didn't just teach me to dice an onion," he said. "She taught me that I mattered, that even when you feel like a failure, someone still believes in you." That moment hit hard. You could hear sobs echoing through the chapel. Fellow Food Network stars also paid tribute in person and through messages. Bobby Flay, visibly shaken, delivered a few quiet words outside the chapel. She made people laugh. She made people better. There will never be another Anne, he said, clutching a white rose that he later placed on her casket. And then came the final goodbye, the closing song Anne herself had chosen years
Bitch
before
got
for such a
cremated.
moment.
She said, "Fuck all the
What a
burial
Wonderful
bitch
World
cremate."
by Louis Armstrong.
Oh
As the
shit.
melody played, a slideshow of Anne's most iconic kitchen moments flickered on a screen. Her explosive reactions on camera, her laughter with kids at food charities,
Yeah, Louis
her
Armstrong.
wild dancing backstage after wrapping a shoot. But there was one final surprise that no one expected. A video message recorded by Anne herself just months prior. The video was short, just under a minute, but the words stayed with everyone in that room. If you're seeing this, then I guess my journey's done. But don't cry for me. I lived with fire and I cooked with love. Feed people, love hard, laugh often. That's what matters. You could hear people gasp, some breaking into full sobs. It was Anne's last gift.
So she knew she was
A
gonna take
message of
herself out.
courage, joy, and peace. But even as her closest friends said goodbye, rumors were already starting to swirl about what really led to her sudden death
Stuff like that be
and what she kept
crazy,
hidden
bitch.
for years. In the
Like
next
she really-
chapter,
literally
we'll
planned
uncover
it
the
out,
secret
bitch,
struggle
of her, like,
Anne
dying,
fought
bitch.
silently, and why some believe her death could have been prevented. To the world, Anne Burrell was a larger-than-life
Was it her
personality.
timing?
Loud,
Did she just set a
bold,
time in her head and said, "Up,
unapologetically
this the date
herself.
on
Her
this
laugh
date"?
could light up a room,
Like, you know
and her
what I'm saying?
passion
Like,
for
crazy
food
shit.
was as contagious as it was undeniable.
Well, I
But
done
what
hit my
few
date.
people
I done hit
knew,
my goal.
and what
Time
only
to
a
go on to-
handful of insiders are now
What?
beginning to speak about, is that Anne was quietly facing an intense personal battle behind the scenes. And it's one that may have taken a greater toll on her than anyone realized. Over the years, fans had occasionally speculated
Now, I
about
always
Anne's
said
health,
that.
weight fluctuations,
wanna be rich
sudden absences from shows,
and be like Stephen
and canceled
Hawkins.
appearances sparked online whispers.
You know
But
what I'm
Anne
saying?
always returned to the screen
What's
full
the
of
point of
fire,
me being rich as
brushing
hell,
off
bitch? I
any
can't do
concerns.
shit.
But
I can't
according
move
to
my
sources
body.
close to her,
I
she had been
can't
dealing
do
with
nothing
a
with my
chronic
money on.
autoimmune condition.
People treat me
Something
like
she
shit. I
refused to
can't do
disclose
nothing. What's the
publicly.
point?
One friend said, Anne
Take
didn't
me
want
out.
to be pitied.
Like, you feel me?
She didn't want people to look at
Nigga,
her
I
and
can't
think,
do
sick
shit.
chef.
I can't even
That
enjoy
just
my
wasn't
money.
her
I can't even
style.
do nothing.
The stress
I
of
can't
being
fuck. I can't
constantly
do
in the
not a
spotlight,
damn thing,
managing a
bitch.
demanding filming
I'm just
schedule,
sitting here,
running
nigga.
restaurants, writing
What's the point of me
cookbooks,
even being
and
rich at that
mentoring
point?
young
What's the
chefs,
point?
all
Like,
while dealing
you
with
feel
chronic
me?
fatigue
It
and
just be
pain
like some
eventually began
goofy
to wear
shit,
on her.
nigga.
She would smile for the camera, do the job, and then go backstage and just sit there, drained, another insider shared.
Yep.
She never let it show, but it was breaking her down, bit by bit.
Yep.
And then there was the emotional toll. In 2021, Anne got married to longtime partner Stuart Claxton in a beautiful ceremony that she proudly shared with her fans. It seemed like a turning point.
I just got a fourth.
Turning point, her own fairy
I don't
tale
know if
after
she really
years of
liked the
dedication to
motherfucker.
her career. But by late 2023, sources close to the couple say cracks were beginning to show.
Yeah.
The pressure of her career and health challenges strained the marriage. They reportedly began spending more time apart. And although they kept appearances up on social
That's
media,
what I said.
Anne's inner circle said she was becoming more withdrawn.
Yeah, I
less
said,
emotional,
how the fuck
and
would he know
increasingly
that she was
reflective.
going through some shit and
One
that was
former
her
producer said,
husband?
she started
Unless they
asking
wasn't
questions
fucking with
like,
each other.
what have I really done? And will anyone
It's just
remember me?
simple as that. They
It was
they
heartbreaking
wasn't
to
fucking
hear
with each
from
other.
someone who gave so much to so many. She even turned down a major Food Network anniversary special, something that would have been unthinkable years earlier. She said she just didn't have the energy, that she wanted to rest. And perhaps most heartbreaking of all, Anne had begun writing letters to friends and family in the months leading up to her death. Some found tucked in cookbooks, others discovered only after the funeral. In one letter, she wrote, I've lived a full life, but I'm tired, and that's okay. Not everything has to be a show. Was this her way of saying goodbye? Was she preparing everyone slowly
That
for a
shit
final
crazy,
exit?
bro.
Though no foul play is suspected, the mystery surrounding Anne's physical decline,
You
her
never know
silence,
what people are
and her
going through.
carefully guarded personal battles has sparked deep questions. Could something more have been done? Should she have asked for help? As painful as it is to imagine, the reality is this. Anne Burrell, the woman who lit up millions of kitchens across the world, was slowly burning out, and no one saw the smoke. But there's still one final piece of this story that remains, a legacy project Anne had been quietly working on, never shared with fans until now. As the culinary world mourned Anne Burrell's shocking death, a final revelation surfaced, one that caught even her closest fans and friends by surprise. Tucked away in her home office, beneath a stack of old cookbooks and handwritten recipes, was something extraordinary, a nearly complete manuscript titled Feeding the Fire, Stories from a Life at the Stove. This wasn't just another cookbook. It was something deeper, more personal, a memoir meets manifesto, written not for fame or profit, but as a legacy piece. According to her literary agent, Anne had been working on it quietly for nearly 2 years, journaling, reflecting, compiling letters, and writing raw, unfiltered truths
But why
about her
does it
journey.
matter?
From her early days in a tiny kitchen in upstate New
Because you want
York
to leave a legacy
to her
behind.
meteoric
If you
rise
take
on the Food
yourself
Network,
out, it's like,
the
bruh,
manuscript covered it all.
I don't
But
understand
it wasn't
it.
the cooking stories that shocked
To
people.
be honest, sometimes.
It was the
Because, like,
vulnerability,
bruh,
the pain, the honesty.
you gone.
One chapter detailed her battles with body image
You
and
know
the
what I'm
harsh
saying?
criticisms she
That's
faced
life.
both online and in the industry. Another pulled back the curtain on the lonely nights between tapings, the fear of aging on TV, and the unspoken rule in food television: never show your weakness. She even addressed rumors that had circulated for years about her health, her personal life, and why she kept so much of herself hidden from the public eye. But perhaps the most moving part of the manuscript was her message to aspiring chefs. This life will chew you up if you let it.
That's
But
a
if
fact.
you keep your fire not in the kitchen, but inside your heart,
That's a fact.
you'll
That's what I've been trying to tell y'all
maybe
niggas,
even
man.
thrive. Don't
You think
just
people
cook,
want to see you win? You
nourish
think the people want to? You
yourself,
think the people
your people,
who
your
are
soul.
around you the most?
Anne planned
You
to
think them niggas want to
self-publish the
see
book
you
in
win? Them be
early
the main niggas who want to
2025,
see you
wanting
lose.
complete creative
They
control.
don't give a fuck that you
She had
took
even
yourself
recorded
out
a few audio
halftime.
excerpts,
They
intending
just
to narrate the audiobook
after a while they
herself
start feeling
in
like,
her
damn, that
signature
really happened.
raspy, energetic voice.
To be honest, they don't give
It
a
was
fuck.
going to be her final bow, not a
But
flashy
you know,
return to
feelings,
TV,
emotions,
but a
over the time
quiet,
being on each
meaningful
other, you know,
offering to
feelings
the
start
world
coming out,
she
then you start
loved
feeling
so
something.
much.
But other
Since
than
her
that,
death,
you know what I'm saying?
her
These niggas don't
estate
give
has
a fuck.
confirmed that the manuscript will indeed be completed and published posthumously, likely with a foreword by one of her closest friends in the industry. But that's not all. Anne also left behind a remarkable charitable vision. In her will, she designated a portion of her assets to launch the Anne Burrell Culinary Foundation, a nonprofit initiative focused on mentoring and supporting young women in the culinary world, especially those from marginalized
Oh,
communities.
young women,
mission?
not just young
To
people,
provide
it's young women.
scholarships,
All right.
mentorship, and mental
I mean,
health
I guess,
support for
shit,
aspiring chefs who often feel overlooked or burned out in the fast-paced
I
pressure
don't know
cooker
if it's women
environment
or
of
men.
professional
It could be both.
kitchens. She didn't just want to be remembered for her risotto, her lawyer shared. She wanted to be remembered for helping others find their voice, their strength, even when the world told them they were too loud, too different, too much. This is Anne Burrell's final recipe. Not for pasta, not for pot roast, but for legacy, for resilience, for meaning. And as fans gather, rewatch old episodes, share favorite dishes, and scroll through years of her kitchen moments, they're beginning to realize something powerful. Anne may be gone, but her fire, it's still burning. Anne Burrell's passing at just 55 years old didn't just leave a hole in the hearts of fans. It left a lasting echo in an industry that so often celebrates perfection and performance while ignoring pain and pressure. Her death was shocking,
So she passed
sudden,
away in June.
painful, but perhaps more than anything,
Damn, bitch.
revealing.
2025
those
have
who
been
seem the
something
strongest,
ridiculous,
the
nigga.
most confident, the most
I mean, ever since
unstoppable, are
2020,
fighting battles we can't see.
shit been
Anne wasn't
stupid,
just a
but
celebrity chef.
nigga,
She was a mentor, a friend, a warrior
people
in the
dropping like
kitchen,
flies, bitch.
and a woman who carried the weight of expectations on her back for decades. And yet, through it all, she still managed to smile, to teach, to uplift, and to leave something behind for the next generation. We uncovered the mysterious call before her death, the emotional final letter, the private funeral that brought the culinary world to tears, and the secret memoir that now promises to live on as her voice beyond the grave. We saw her pain, her silence, her vulnerability, and the legacy of strength she managed to build quietly in the shadows of her fame. But more than that, we saw the truth that you can be wildly successful and still feel tired, that you can inspire millions while still needing help yourself, and that sometimes the most powerful message doesn't come from a kitchen demonstration or a flashy competition, but from the quiet decision to share your real self with the
That's
world.
how it goes, gang.
So, as we say goodbye to Anne Burrell, not just the chef, but the human being, we also issue a challenge to everyone watching. Take a moment to check in on your strong friends.
Yeah.
Leave a comment below sharing your favorite Anne Burrell moment or recipe. And keep her legacy alive by doing what she did best, feeding people, loving fiercely, and living loudly. If Anne's story moved you, touched you, or even just made you reflect, Please like this video, subscribe to the channel for more real stories behind the headlines, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Because in the end, Anne didn't want applause. She wanted connection, and that starts with us, right here, right now. Rest in power, Chef Anne Burrell. Your flame will never go out.
Dreaming.
What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy. Can't tell you YouTube shit. Hey man, say man, we are Look at T man. Turn. Tell you to motherfucker. They're hitting outside. Big crip in it. Gang shit hitting outside shit, man. Free Palestine, free Congo, Russia do your thing, and Texas stand the fuck up. Each day is a new day to be a better version of yourself. Never let somebody bring you out, always fight back. Never let somebody tell you who you are, also never put yourself in a position you don't belong. Let's stay humble. It's your revolution on this moment. Keep y'all right first. Come to the Black and Burrell life as a real Jew. We out here. Alright. Boom. Say to motherfucker day. Straight hitting outside. Big crip in it. Gang straight hitting outside shit, man. Gang. Go. Straight hitting outside shit, man. Bruh. Like, turn out. That ass. Okay. Let's get straight to this bitch, man. You know, I be having a lot of videos. Like content just over content. So this is a video. I had another video planned, but like I said, I be having content in the ton. So the other content wasn't going planned, cause you know they be making like fake videos and shit. So this is about she's a very well known chef. What's her name? Anne Burrell. So y'all probably know her because of the fucking title, the fucking thumbnail, bitch. But yeah, she passed away. Hey, like I tell y'all, man. You know I'm from the hood. A lot of people pass away from random shit. You know what I'm saying? Even drug overdoses. I even had a drug overdose before. You know what I'm saying? But like I tell a lot of people, man, that money on the fame won't get you nowhere if you don't have God in your life. You know what I'm saying? Because some people do just overdose and have accidents, but like, you know, she's successful. And, you know, she just still wasn't. Like I tell you, if you ain't got no good health and no mental, shit can get crazy, man. Alright, back. So, like I said, RP. Who know what Bit was really going through behind closed doors. You know what I'm saying? When it's time for people to go, it's time for people to go. You know what I'm saying? It's sad that I feel like she planned it. But like I said, man, you know, a lot of people, unfortunately, do go by drug overdoses or just KO themselves. Which, you know, we live in a life where, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do in this world, you know, and unfortunately, you know, we all got our days we gotta die. Yeah, you know, you just gotta keep on pushing and try to help other people to know the truth and continue to keep on fighting to live. Hood, Northside, big crip in the game, that's our shit.
Hey, Dad, you know, dog, when we link up, dog, this shit be legendary. You know this instrumental, you the engineer on it, so Kodak everywhere.